Hi guys, how are you? So today we're going to talk about poetry. Okay, so let's know first what is poetry. What do we use poetry for? Okay, so poetry is a beautiful use of the language to express feelings like what? Like sadness, happiness, love. We use poetry to express these feelings. Okay, we just have some points first we need to know before we study poetry. So, one of the points that we need to know is what is a poet? So, a poet is the person who writes the poetry. He's the person who writes the poetry himself. Okay, another thing we need to know is what is a poem? A poem is the lines of that has been written to form poetry. So this is the poem itself. Okay, so the poem is the lines written by the poet to express his ideas. Okay, next we have the stanza. Okay, what is a stanza? A stanza is um, okay, when you have a poem like this one, like this one. So this is a poem. This is a poem. The stanza is only this part, only this group of lines, only this group, one group. So each and every one group is a stanza. Okay? Okay. Next, what do we have? We have okay. Again, the stanza is the group of lines in a poem having the same idea. Okay? Usually, the poem is divided into many stanzas, but some poems are not divided into stanzas, so it's fine. Okay? Okay, some of the things that we use in poetry is the figures of speech. Okay, what is the figures of speech? Figures of speech is when you're comparing something to something else. If you're saying the sky is as blue as the sea, so this is a figure of speech. Okay, if you're comparing something to something else. Okay, so they are the beautiful images which the poet used to express his ideas. Okay, just to give a beautiful meaning to the poem he's writing. Okay, okay, so we have four figures of speech. First one we have is the simile. The simile. Okay, what is the simile? Simile is when you say that she is like a flower. So he likes the poet is saying that this woman is like a flower. Okay, so he's liken things to persons or to things using as or like. So this is a simile. Like what? As an example, we have here, we have I wandered lonely as a cloud. Okay, so the poet here likens himself to a cloud. Okay, because he used as a cloud. Okay, another thing, we have the moon like a flower. So the poet here is liken the moon to a flower. Okay? Okay. Next part we have is the personification. Okay, personification is when you're saying that a thing is like a person. A thing is like a person. Like if you're imagining that the sea is talking, so you're imagining that the sea is a person. That's a personification. Like what? So the poet gives something qualities of people, like speaking, feeling, hearing. Whatever qualities for people, if we're giving it to something or a thing, it's called personification. Like what? Here as an example, we have I'm busy, said the sea. Okay, so the sea is, does the sea speak? No, it doesn't. So here, the poet gives the sea the image of a person who can talk. Okay? Number three, metaphor. Okay, metaphor is when you're saying something has the quality of another thing. Like what? Like what? Like an example, here we have tiger, tiger, burning bright. Okay, so here, does the tiger burn? No, only the fire burns. So, as we can see here, the poet gives the tiger the image of fire. So this is a metaphor. This is a metaphor. Okay? Number four, last thing, we have contrast. Okay, what is a contrast? Contrast is when you're using words and its opposites to make the meaning clear. Like what? Using here and there. Using dark and light. Okay? Using talk or talking and being quiet. So this is the opposite, the use of words and its opposite to make the meaning clear. Like what? As an example, we have here, I'm busy, said the air, blowing here and blowing there, up and down and everywhere. Okay, so here, as a contrast, we have blowing here and blowing there. Okay, here is opposite to there, so this is a contrast. Okay, another thing we have is up and down as well. As you can see here, up and down. So it is a contrast as well. Okay, next thing we have is the musical elements. Okay, so first we had the figures of speech, and now we have the musical elements. Okay, what are the elements that we have? We have internal elements and external elements. Okay, first thing we have the alliteration. Okay, what is alliteration? Alliteration is repeating the same consonant at the beginning of different words. Like what? Same consonant letter. That's what we mean. Like what? Just to give a music to the line. To give some music to the line. Like what here? So, first one we have is I'm busy, said the sea. Okay, so said here starts with S, and C here starts with S as well. So this is alliteration. This is alliteration. Okay, alliteration is the S here at the beginning of said and the S here at the beginning of C. Okay, so let's move to the next part. We have great, wide, beautiful, wonderful, and word. So here we're choosing only the words that has the same consonant letter at the beginning of the word. Like what? Like wide, we have W. Like wonderful, we have W. And like word, we have W as well. Okay, next next musical element we have is the repetition. Okay, what is repetition? Repetition is repeating the same words more than one time in the stanza. Like what? Example, I'm busy, I'm busy. So in the poem here, our poem here, we can see I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me. Making continents to be, I'm busy, said the sea. So how many times did he repeat busy here? So he said busy once, busy twice, and busy 3 times. Okay? So this is the repetition. So it means repeating the same words. Okay? Number 3, we have the rhyme scheme. Okay, what is the rhyme scheme? The rhyme scheme is the same sounds given at the ends of the line. Like what? Like having the same sound at the end of the line, like what? Like, I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me. Making continents to be, I'm busy, said the sea. So it's the same sound at the end of each and every line. This is the rhyme scheme. The same sound at the end of each and every line. So here we have see, me, be, and see. So same rhyme scheme, same sound. Okay? Great. So let's read the poem together. The poem is its title is An English Poem Day, and it's by Sir Cecil Springrise. Okay, so that is the okay. So Sir Cecil is our poet. Okay, so let's go to the poem. I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me. Making continents to be. I'm busy, said the sea. So this is the first stanza. The second one, I'm busy, said the rain. When I fall, it's not in vain. Wait and you'll see the grain. I'm busy, said the rain. That's second stanza. Third stanza we have, I'm busy, said the air. Blowing here and blowing there. Up and down and everywhere. I'm busy, said the air. Fourth one, I'm busy, said the sun. All my planets, every one. No, my work is never done. I'm busy, said the sun. Last one. Sea and rain and air and sun. Here is a fellow toiler one, whose task will soon be done. Okay, so here we have some vocab just to make us understand the poem more. So we have the continents. What are the continents? It's the big masses of land, like what? Like Asia, Africa, Europe. So these are the continents. In vain, like we have here, when I fall, it's not in vain. So when I fall, it's not useless. It's not without use. So this is in vain. Next part, we have grain. This one. Wait and you will see the grain. Grain here, it means the seeds of food. The plants such as rice, potato, whatever. Okay? Blowing, as in blowing here and blowing there. Blowing is moving along, like the air. The wind is blowing. Okay? The wind is blowing. So this is the movement of the wind. Next, we have planets. Planets are like what? Like Earth, like Jupiter, like Mars. So these are the planets. So they are the bodies that moves around the sun. Okay. Next one we have is fellow. Okay, fellow is a friend. When I say about someone, he's my fellow, so he's my friend. Um, Next we have is toiler. So toiler here, as here is a fellow toiler one. So here is uh another worker friend. So toiler is worker. Okay. Last one we have is task. So if I give you a task, I give you a duty to do. So this is a task. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the paraphrase. Okay, what is the paraphrase? Sorry, paraphrase is when you take each and every stanza and you just give a small conclusion about what the poet is talking about. So the first one here, I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me, making continents to be. I'm busy, said the sea. Okay, so the poet here is talking about the sea and its role in nature and the work it does. It builds up the continents on which we live. Okay, second stanza we have, I'm busy, said the rain. When I fall, it's not in vain. Wait and you'll see the grain. I'm busy, said the rain. Okay, so the poet here is talking about the rain, how the rain is important to us, and that it doesn't fall without any reason. It falls for a reason, for the reason for our food to grow in the fields. Okay, number 3, the third stanza. I'm busy, said the air, blowing here and blowing there, up and down and everywhere. I'm busy, said the air. So the poet here is talking about the rule of the air and that it blows everywhere in all directions. So it's cooling down the weather, it's carrying clouds, and it's helping us to breathe. Okay, so this is the rule of the air. Fourth one, I'm busy, said the sun. All my planets, everyone. No, my work is never done. I'm busy, said the sun. Okay, so the sun here, the poet is explaining that this sun is the most important one of them all, and that no one can deny the work that the sun does, and that all the planets know the importance of the sun's work, and that the work of the sun is never finished, or otherwise there would be no earth. Because if the sun is not there, so the earth is not going to revolve around it. So there will be no earth, there will be no plants, no air, nothing. So because it all depends on the sun. Okay? Fifth stanza. Sea and rain and air and sun. Here is a fellow toiler one, whose task will soon be done. Okay, so in the last stanza here, the poet is describing himself as a hard-working friend, and he compares between his work and the work of the sun and the work of the rain, the air, and the sea. The poet ends the stanza or the poem itself by saying that man's work can come to an end, but the work of nature cannot be ended. Okay, so as we can see here, they said whose task will soon be done. So it means that his work is going to be over. It's going to be ended. Okay, so the figures of speech we have here, we have I'm busy, said the sea. So this is a personification. Why is it a personification? Because we said that the sea doesn't talk. So the poet here makes the sea speaks as if it is a man. So this is a personification. We have a contrast between here and there, up and down. Okay, contrast is the opposite of a word that it's opposite. And then we have alliteration. Alliteration like what? Like sea, sun. It begins with the same consonant. And then we have repetition. Like I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me. I'm busy, said the sea. So this is a repetition. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. So he said I'm busy 3 times. This is the repetition at the beginning of each line. Okay, commentary. The poem, it consists of 5 stanzas. So as we saw here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are 5 stanzas. Each stanza consists of 4 lines. 4 lines. 4 lines. Except the last one, which consists of only 3 lines. Okay, what is the rhyme scheme? So the endings of each and every line. Okay, for the rhyme scheme, you need to, if it's the same sound, you need to label it A. So it's A, 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 and then it changes. The rhyme scheme changes to another sound. So the other sound is going to be B. So rain, vein, grain, rain again. So it's going to be B, 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 B. And then the same for the for each and every stanza. So the rhyme scheme we have here is A, 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 B, 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 C, 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 D, 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 and E, E, E. Because it's only 3 E's, because the last stanza is only 3 lines. Okay? The lines are simple, short, and very easy. So yes, it's easy because he's saying just I'm busy, said the rain, I'm busy, said the sea. It's really easy. And it's short, it's very short. So the first 4 stanzas begin and ends by the same statement. So as we said, I'm busy. The poem is similar to a song and is very easy to learn. It is. Okay, so answering the following questions. What does the sea ask the reader to do? Okay, this is going to be your own homework. How is the work of the elements of nature in the poem different from the work of humans? Okay, so let's move to the first question first. What does the sea ask the reader to do? Okay, so let's move to the first stanza. I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me. Making continents to be, I'm busy, said the sea. So what did the sea ask the people to do? So he asked the people to do, or it asked the people to think of it. Okay, that it's making continents, so it asked the people to think of it. Number two, how is the work of the elements of nature in the poem different from the work of humans? Okay, as we said that in the last stanza here, that it's different from a human work because it's endless. The work of nature is endless. However, the work of man, it can be ended. Okay, it can come to an end. So that's the difference between both. The poem Day has a message. What is it? Okay, what is the message that we can see? Or what is the message that we can conclude? That nature's work never dies. Nature's work never ends. So that's why we need to make sure that we keep our nature clean. We know the work that our nature is doing. Okay? So that's the um, main idea or the message. Number four, what does the poet mean when he says that the man's task will soon be done? Okay, as we can see here, that in the last stanza we said that a man's work can come to an end, but the work of nature cannot be ended. Okay, a man's work, what is man's work? Man's work, it can be his job, but man's work, the main man's work is to be living on earth. So the man's work can come to an end by what? By dying. So that's what he means. That's another point of view. That's another opinion. So it depends on your own opinion and your own understanding of the poem itself. Okay. Here, number five, it's asking you to paraphrase the first stanza. Okay. Paraphrase the first stanza by doing what? So this is the paraphrase we having here. So as we said, paraphrase is when you uh, just say or write a small brief about what the stanza is mentioning or what the stanza is saying. Like what here? Like this one. The poet here talks about the sea and its role in nature and the work it does. It builds up the continents on which we live. So it's your own explanation of the stanza. Last one, identify the figures of speech in the first stanza. Okay, so figures of speech, as we can see here, is I'm busy, said the sea. So that's the figures of speech that we read here. The personification, contrast, alliteration, and repetition. Okay, so this is going to be our lesson for today, guys. Thank you so much, and don't forget to do your homework, answer the questions in your copybook, please. Thank you. Bye.